The Decal Extension Maker for Fantasy Grounds allows you to create your own custom decal sets. That's right, use your own images to create background decals for your Fantasy Ground campaign, all without coding or editing any XML files. Your decal set can contain up to 15 different decals that are compatible with all the Fantasy Ground rule sets. To show you how simple it is, I'm going to create a decal set based on some quote images that I have created for my Curses Strahd campaign. These are all simple PNG files. I am going to open the Decal Extension Maker for Fantasy Grounds, and you notice right off the bat the settings menu appears, and it's asking me to set the default author name, which I'm going to set to GM Wintermute, and it's asking me to select where my Fantasy Grounds extension folder is. If you're not familiar with how to locate your APPDATA folder for Fantasy Grounds, you can click the link and it'll take you to a YouTube video that will show you how to easily find your APPDATA folder. So I'm going to click the button and I'm going to drill down and find my APPDATA folder. And under Fantasy Grounds, I want the extensions folder, and I'm going to say OK. I'm going to click the box so this window will not pop open every time I start the program. And then here you are at the main decal generation screen. Okay, let's get down to actually how to make our extension. I'm going to come over here to decal number 1, and the first column is the name of your decal. This is what is displayed in the Fantasy Grounds setting menu under decal options. So we're going to name them here what we named the file names. And we're going to select our decal images. And they're on our desktop under Strahd Decals. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to give our decal set a name. The author is already filled in based upon our setting. And we're going to give it a brief description. We're going to select where we want it to save, and if you'll notice, when we have set our Fantasy Grounds extension folder, it automatically defaults there. We're going to call it 01 COS Mini Decals Extension. Yes, we want to replace the file. I can click here and tell it to open the folder when the generation is complete. And at this point, I click the Generate Decal Extension. A status window opens telling you everything that took place. And when it gets down to Decal Extension Complete, we're ready to open our decal in Fantasy Grounds. So we'll open Fantasy Grounds. We will load a campaign. And we will look for our COS Mini Decals extension, and we'll open the campaign. Once Fantasy Grounds is loaded, you'll notice down in the chat window that there's an announcement message telling you the theme by the author and that it was built by the Decal Extension Maker for Fantasy Grounds. We go over and click on our settings and we go down to decals. I'm going to slide this over and we scroll through the decals and you can see our decals have been loaded and our names are correct. That's all there is to creating your own decals with the Decal Extension Maker for Fantasy Grounds. Okay, I'm going to exit Fantasy Grounds and go back to the Decal Extension Maker. Now, let's say I'm not quite done creating all my images and I wish to save this decal set for later. I can save the file. These are the mini decals. And you can see it created a mini decals.dcl file. I can also import and load previous decal sets. Here is my main cursive stride quotes. And you can see that I actually have 15 different images in it. I'm going to select a file name and we'll call these the big decals. Hit save. And I'm going to tell it to open the extensions folder when completed. And I'm going to hit generate decal. And you can see it's copying images over and generating the file. And it opened up my extensions folder. And here is my big decals. I can open it with 7-zip. And you can see I have my extension file and my graphics all in place in one file. And as promised, here's the tip on how to locate the APPDATA folder for Fantasy Grounds. It's really simple. All you do is open Fantasy Grounds, and in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the file folder icon. Click it, and File Explorer will open, and there is your full path to your APPDATA folder.